Seguimos conversando aquí en Científicos, Industria Argentina, en la 10ª temporada, siempre por Canal 7, por la televisión pública, con Jane Goodall. Can you tell me why you have that little stuffed animal?
This is Mr. H.
Mr. H?
He was given to me 16 years ago by a man called Gary Horn, who went blind at 21, decided to become a magician, was told that was impossible if you can't see. He said, well, I'll try. And he's so good, the children don't know he's blind. And then he'll tell them and say, you know, things may go wrong in your life, we never know, but if they do, don't give up. There's always a way forward. You know, and he does skydiving and cross-country skiing, and thought he was giving me a chimpanzee for my birthday. I made him hold the tail. I said, Gary, you've no excuse, chimps don't have tails. He said, never mind, take him where you go and you know my spirit's with you. So he's been touched by way over 3 million people, because I say the inspiration rubs off.
Well, it should be 3,000,001. Out of the things that you discovered in the world of chimpanzees, what is the thing that you would say, this just blew my mind away? I mean, this is completely different, totally unexpected. What would that be?
Well, I think, you know, there are two answers to that. One was as a result of the long term and beginning to realize the development of the relationships between mothers and their offspring, between brothers and sisters, and realizing that these relationships can last through life and they can live to be over 60. So, you know, it's a very long-term thing, but absolutely fascinating, and to see the effect of good mothers versus bad mothers and how that affects their child in later life, and what a good start they get if they have a good mother, just like I did. Mm-hmm. And so that's, you know, that's the thing that's fascinated me most. But the most startling thing and shocking thing was to find that, like us, they have a dark side to their nature. It was when I saw the first inter-community conflict, these brutal gang attacks on members of a neighboring social group, which, well, basically they leave the victim to die of wounds inflicted.
Did they plan the attack?
Well, they sort of do. So, for example, if you have a group of males, or there have to be at least 3 males for one of these patrols, and if they maybe hear something, it's not quite clear, but one will look into the distance, turn around with a grin of fear or excitement, and touch one of the other males, and then they all look in that direction, and then they set off. And they start going so silently. It's like a creeping. It's like hunting. And if they catch the unfortunate victim, one of these horrible attacks takes place. And, you know, I thought they were like us, but nicer. And then I found that in certain situations, they can be just as nasty.
How do they communicate?
They communicate with many different calls, the distance call, which identifies who's calling, and then, you know, a whole myriad of other calls basically relating to what's happening. I'm frightened, I'm happy, here's good food, here's something frightening. But
could you read that? Could you understand what they were saying?
Not to start with.
No, but if there was someone saying there's good food, could you just pick up on that one, like that type of message was being sent? Well, yeah, we now know, we understand all these different calls. We do. You did. You do.
Eventually I did. You know, you have to see it and hear it many times.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yes. Eventually you can sort them out. Like, you get, you know, small, which is, I'm scared a bit, I'm frightened, I'm puzzled. These kind of soft calls. And often they're accompanied by gestures. Oh, go away. It's the postures and gestures that are so fascinating, because they're so like ours. And kissing, embracing, holding hands, patting on the back, swaggering, shaking the fist. And then, of course, they also throw rocks and brandish branches like clubs. So, and they tickle, they laugh, they do all these things in the same context that we do.
Is there a pecking order too?
Oh yeah, there's usually one top-ranking dominant male, and the other males arranged below him, but you get coalitions. So at any moment, and very often among brothers, so if you get two brothers together, they may be able together to be dominant over one who normally ranks higher than the highest ranking brother, if you get my meaning. But the alpha male, the top male, he's got to be able to control all these coalitions, otherwise he's not top.
Are they dangerous? Let's put it that way.
Well, they're very much stronger than we are. I've been dragged and hit over many times. But
many times?
Yes, but not with any intent to harm, usually with intent to intimidate, which is unnecessary. I keep telling them they don't need to prove that they're superior to me in strength. If they wanted to hurt one of us, you'd be dead.